This is RSBANDB Update, episode 368, recorded Friday, July 6th, 2012. The Forbidden Fantasy. Hello everybody, welcome to another episode of RSBANDB Update. I am here, Shane12088, with Trekkie.
Hi everybody!
He sounds like a female, but maybe that's to do with the quest. Also, Maremska is here, who won our Get on the Show contest.
Yoo-hoo!
Ow.
No, that's a great intro. I wish more people would do intros like that.
Ooh, my ears.
So, Maremska, is there anything you want to, any claim to fame that you want to just tell anyone before we get going here?
Not too much. I did, probably done a few panels on the comic and posted on RuneWire. And big giveaways sometimes.
Okay.
Like just randomly just give people.
Yeah, that's nice.
Also, I'm Australian, I guess.
Well, yeah, I guess some people might not realize that, but you are Australian. It is 7:15 a.m. there, so thank you for getting up early to be with us.
That's fine.
All right. So, we got a quest this week called Carnelian Rising. Jagex prefaces this by saying, the House of Carnelian is an old and noble one. No one is more proud of the fact rather than Sir Cyril, who thinks that it's high time to make a man of his sulky son, Felipe, before he dishonors the family name.
Too late.
Okay, so before I hand this over to you guys to get a bit of discussion on it, requirements are, of course, members, 33 thieving, 31 construction, 50 quest points, Hazael Cult, and the Blood Pact. So, let's start. So why did you laugh, and why did you say too late?
The quest was okay. Like, it was really interesting to design your own little dungeon. The thing that I got really annoyed at was the very stereotypical snotty British accents. It's like, oh my, they've done those voices so long, so many times. It's been done. It's outdated. All they were missing was a Monopoly guy with a monocle.
Okay, perhaps, what do you think of the voices?
They were okay. It's like watching a British drama.
Yeah, you see, that's something we don't get over here. We don't get a lot of British stuff, so I guess we're not accustomed, or I guess Trekkie's not accustomed to hearing the British accents and whatnot.
Yes, I have.
Oh, okay.
And also, a lot of them come down here for jobs, so they're not too bad until you hear Irish accent. I have no idea what they're talking about.
Okay. Well, I know we're not supposed to talk about accents and stuff, but Maremska, maybe you and I will have to hang out a bit so I can perfect my Australian accent a bit. But
sure, I can teach you Kiwi.
Oh no, I've had enough experience in that over the years, actually. So that one was sometimes, it just sometimes randomly just a few words would come out in that kind of accent. But that's a slight digression there. But continue about the quest. Do you actually make Felipe into a man?
Well,
not really.
Well, it depends what path you're going for. Supposedly, depending on how you reward him in the end, kind of determines how you would kind of react. But the end result is the same. He'll end up, oh my god, that was so much fun. I would go out myself. I'm going to go on a Pokemon adventure.
Okay. So you're saying it's kind of like that. It's kind of like a coming of age kind of thing where in the end the guy wants to go on his own adventure.
Yep.
Okay.
And you're supposed after the quest, you can try and track him down, and if you do, he'll give you some experience lamps for things you've learned along the way. Uh, from what I saw the first time, he is level 30, and he leveled up twice while killing the big bad boss.
I see.
Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert!
Yeah, it's of course. Anytime we're talking about a quest, spoilers because we like to talk about it. Another thing with this, so how does the mechanic work of designing your own dungeon? Because I know this was a major thing in the behind the scenes video that they showed last week.
Moroska, you want to take this one?
Sure. It seemed like a hotspot for the construction skill, but laid out in the dungeon.
Okay, so it wasn't anything like groundbreaking in that. For example, you would, based on what you design, maybe he'd do something totally different in the quest, or
Well, that's
because
it.
the butler seems to be following you everywhere. I tried to assign other people to other things, and he suggested other things. So he's sort of still controlled in a way.
okay.
You can kind of determine some of the traps and who is the damsel in distress and everything else. But as a whole quest, everything's pretty much laid out for you. You're just like, all right, do you want blood stain or do you want a skull? Let's go with the skull. Okay. Well, this one, do you want spiky traps or a pool of water? Let's go with spiky trap. Okay. You want to put tripwire here? Yes. Okay. So everything's pretty much all laid out. You just kind of decide what you want to put in.
Okay.
Which, it's kind of nice. Something a little different. I just couldn't stand the voices.
Well, you could have turned the voices off, but so I guess it's safe to say that the little designing aspect added a bit to the quest, but it wasn't the hallmark feature of the quest.
The quest itself is basically built on the idea of just building a little dungeon walkway for the boy.
Okay.
The quest is really simple. It's very, very, very easy. Everything you need, it's in the house. You just gotta go look for it, and once you find them, it's you just start looking for things that sparkle.
All right. And I assume with this, we're also dealing with another instanced quest.
Oh yes. Once the house is accessed by everyone, once you enter the dungeon, it's instanced.
Okay. So, I don't know. What do you guys think? You guys happy with the way this quest turned out, or could they have done something different with making him actually become a man in the end?
Well, it's RuneScape. It's a bit of lighthearted fun.
Yeah, I guess. Speaking of lighthearted fun, there's some questionable stuff floating around the Twitterverse regarding what kind of content was actually in this quest. Specifically, something to do with a feather and what was that other one you said, Trekkie?
Moroska, you want to take? You remember what it was?
It's not this kind of game.
yeah, that's what the feather part was, I think.
And you also have a choice of tying up a little girl.
Oh,
that's a big bonding experience for you and her.
Like bonding as in getting to know her?
Oh, it's tying her up to the gate, gagging her.
I see. Saying,
wait here. We'll find the stereotypical knight in shining armor for your Disney fantasy.
So why did she need to be tied up then?
Because she was supposed to be the damsel in distress, guarded by two evil dragons.
I see. Well, you don't need to think about it that way, that tying it up is necessarily a bad thing like that.
Well, when you're a grown-ass man who's level 135 and you're tying up a level 10-year-old girl, it's things to float around your brain.
Well, I mean, I guess you wouldn't do that in real life, and that's why it's a quest. Because, I mean, what would you do if you ran into someone like that and you did that in real life, Trekkie?
Well, first thing I would do is call the police, because if you're tying her up like that, you're not doing something right. But the other thing is, you do have a choice of who you want to be the damsel in distress and who wants to be the jailer. You can choose the fat man to be the damsel in distress, dressed up in a little dress, or you can choose the quote unquote bride, the bride engagement fiance to be. There we go.
Okay.
So you can decide you want the fat man or the girl.
Okay.
And if you're
Now,
tying up the fat man, it's gonna be interesting.
now tell me about the what was this thing about not a fantasy game? How does that come about in the quest? Or not that type of fantasy game, I mean.
Oscar, come on.
I know, it must be alluding to something rude.
Well, how did you get to the point where you? I know I read that you use a feather on someone. So like, what leads up to that is what I'm wondering. Like, what would could suggest that Jagex would want to do something like this?
No idea. Maybe it's
the players who slightly younger, and they just seem to, the playful nature of younger players.
I'm not sure if that's the playful. If you're referring to an actual playful nature or a different kind of playful nature there, but I think we should. I think we should leave this right here because this is definitely a shift in Jagex's tactics, and as you said, shady grounds. So I mean, I'm just not sure how I feel about Jagex doing this in the quests.
Yeah, true.
Granted, we know the age RuneScape is targeted as, but really, do we need to foster this idea in the minds of the teenagers?
Well, also remember most teenagers are not the only ones that play this game. So basically,
some parents play it, like Uncle Dano.
He's just thinking of Final Fantasy.
Yeah, I know whole families who play RuneScape too.
Oh, good. That's good. That's an interesting idea there, Maramska. Thank you for that. But, all right. Anything else relating to this quest? Like, I know we're not getting anywhere on how they're doing this. Probably just the way they want to slant the game nowadays, but that's okay because we all know that the age group is in the right area. So, anything else before we talk about rewards?
Oh yes, you can apparently you can go back to the chef and apparently fight the boss yourself.
Oh, okay.
And he'll give you a reward.
Okay, I did not know that.
So I guess that would be for people who actually wanted to fight this as they would normally fight it during a quest rather than just letting the Felipe guy fight it.
Yes, yeah. He leveled up twice during that fight too.
So what level did you start at?
Not a clue. All I know is after the quest, I saw him as level 30. In the quest, you don't see his level.
Oh, okay.
So he gained 2 levels. I'm assuming he gained 2 attack because he sure was not hitting very hard.
Yeah, he looks kind of scrawny too, you know?
He's a scrawny little brat. What'd you expect?
Well, I thought he was supposed to become a man.
He's not a man. He's still a boy. But funny, the thing
Benny.
Is that... Be quiet. But the thing is also, during the quest, the little... in the official description, they'll say like, items that you require is an empty inventory and possibly food at the end. Don't bother bringing food. You won't die. So you're supposed to kind of tank the damage a little bit from the monster, but you won't die from it. It's a safe little quest. Don't bother wasting food to get it.
All right.
Yeah.
So I assume death risk is relatively low, hence the requirements. Yeah. So let's talk about the rewards now. So first up, of course, you will get 2 Squeal of Fortune spins as expected with this quest.
Boo.
No, that's a good thing. But also, you will get 1 quest point and 2,000 coins, something worth 2,000 coins. What is that exactly?
Well, it depends on what. Well, it's either you get 5,000 coins if you use a necklace. I think that's 5,000 coins, isn't it? Not 2,000, 5,000.
Well, their thing says 2,000 here. That's what I'm reading.
A bit bugged up.
You also get 2 XP lamps, 1,500 each for any skill over 30. A bag of sweets, which I assume you stole off Felipe or his sister.
Felipe.
Okay. 100 noted oak planks, 30 noted teak planks, 10 noted mahogany planks, a treasure chest. So now the treasure chest. You were mentioning this pre-show. You guys were discussing this.
Yes. So they decided to introduce a new item to the game called a treasure chest, and basically you can bury it almost anywhere on the surface of Glenanor, and you have a key. You give the key to somebody and tell them to go find it, and whatever you put into it, it's only one item unless it's a stackable noted item, and you can do whatever you want with it.
So you could do this and say, here, I put a white party hat somewhere. Here's a key. Go find it.
Yeah.
Nice. Nice.
Whether you would want to put a white party hat in there is up to you.
You'd want to put a white party hat in there for me.
Hell no. No, unless you mean a paper hat. I think the rewards for this quest was somewhat decent for the level. It's,
of course.
A novice quest, so 2,000 here and there isn't too bad.
You also get 2,500 thieving and 2,500 construction experience.
And
plus XP lamps.
Right.
And you get some construction items, 100 oak planks, 32
planks,
I
already
10
mentioned
mahogany.
those. What about the extra Klaus challenge thing? The extra rewards. Did you guys do those?
I
just
heard
started.
flax. I think
Yep.
2,000.
3,500 flax, 2,000 pure essence, 300 ground dragon scales, and 100 ground unicorn horns.
And that's if you fight the boss at the end. The other thing also is you can do a little, hide and seek with Felipe, and basically the dad will tell you he's somewhere here and here, so you can go look for him. He'll give you lamps. Start off around really small up to, and then the last one is around 10k experience.
Yeah, they're at 50, 100, 150, etc., all the way up to 400 quest points. And they actually, on the list of rewards here, they show where the guy is going to be hiding at each one. And after 200 is 10,000 at any skill over 55. So that's quite substantial, considering you can get 5 of them eventually. So you can get extra 50k XP once we have the ability to get 400 quest points.
So basically, it's one of those quests to get people to do quest.
That's good. I think we need one of those from time to time because too many people just ignore quests. They don't treat them as part of the game that actually enhances the game. They just do them to do them, and it's like a skill collector. They just get 99 to get 99s. They're not actually doing the quest for the purpose of doing the quest, if you know what I mean.
Well, Shane, you
So-
didn't want to do the quest either, so why don't you do it? It'll give you more XP.
Yeah, well, I like I said, we'll talk about why I didn't do the quest later, but
Because you're less tired.
yes, that's true. So, moving on from this, tweaks and fixes this week, unless there's any other thing we want to mention regarding the quest.
Quest related? No? Morozki?
Nope.
All right. They've updated the look of the furniture menus used in the construction skill. They look a bit more like the other Make X interfaces in game now, which is, of course, a good thing.
About time.
That's such a typical Jagexian thing to do. Update the UI in one area and forget to do it in the other area. Oh, we forgot construction. Who trains construction anyways? But also, the ancient staff recolors on sale from the loyalty shop. It's now 4,500 points, which is a 25% discount. I
Who
might look
uses
into
that
that
anymore?
one. I do. I do. But
I just have it for showing off purposes.
yeah, because it was the thing that you got when you finished Desert Treasure, so why not?
Yeah.
The totem pole?
No, the ancient staff from Desert Treasure.
Oh yeah, I'm thinking of the wrong quest. Ooh,
Yeah,
I'm
you're
tired.
thinking of Legends.
I don't know why I was thinking of Legends. I'm getting tired, Shane.
All right, so patch notes from this week. Anybody have anything that they want to bring up before I bring up one thing that I was quite happy about?
Well, from the tweaks and fixes, one of the things they added was agility shortcut has been added to the south side of Red Dragon Isle.
Okay, that's the thing I was going to highlight here because that's such a big deal.
Yes.
I've been wanting that shortcut since who knows when, since I first started training agility. How about you, Maramska?
It hasn't bothered me too much. I don't go to the wilderness too much nowadays.
Yes.
The thing it's good for these days is sometimes there's always
berries.
a penguin that ends up stuck in Red Dragon Island, so having a little agility shortcut will be good rather than having to run through the whole thing.
Run around it.
Oh, yes. Oh. I forgot about that.
Another thing, players can no longer rest while blowing bubbles from their fish mask.
Oh, why did they take that away? That doesn't hurt anybody.
I know you're sitting down, and why not just have some bubbles coming up? You know?
Yes. Technically, would be gasping for air, wouldn't you? I mean, you're wearing a mask with gills.
Yeah, and we remember the picture of the fish mask. It's like this big fish on your head. So, anyways, they fixed some Z bias issues on Red Dragon Island as well. That's the thing that allows pieces of models to expand outside of their boxes. Trees in Miscellanea now have their canopies removed after being cut down.
Must have been a bad bug.
Yeah, these things probably just crop up from time to time, but anyways, I don't have anything else here to mention.
Alrighty. So, Maronska, you got anything else to say?
Not really.
All right. So now, behind the scenes July. Another quiet month, because, of course, they are working on the combat beta, so that's perfectly fine with us. Social Slayer. What did you guys think of when you first read the fact that you're going to be able to do co-op Slayer tasks?
Fantastic. Slayer won't be so boring.
Okay.
Well, I want to say that if people get together, it'll make messing with bots a lot easier.
Okay.
Start ganging up on
that makes sense.
So I'm thinking, people start getting together and just start killing blue dragons en masse. Hey, we have the same thing. Let's just start killing all of these really, really fast. Screw with the AIs.
Yep.
Let's see anything.
But of course, it's only a team of 2 that you're able to do. You have to be on the same task already, or start new tasks together. Any kills that you make when you're together will count towards each other's kill count. XP isn't shared, though. So it'll make it quicker, but of course you'll sacrifice some XP. Also, players who complete tasks together will earn points to spend in their local Slayer's Master Shop with awesome rewards to buy, such as shared potion effects and awesome new pets.
Pets, I don't care about.
It's a baby Aquanite.
I don't care for pets anymore. I never cared for pets anyway. I only have a cat because you needed it for the quest anyway. What was the other reward? The points, right? Get the points to spend it on.
You have shared points now too, based on XP share. The main reason I thought that this was coming out when I read it is because the evolution of combat makes everywhere a multi-way area. So, I mean, you're going to have people who are working on these tasks, so why not let people share these things so we're not all jostling and fighting with each other as to who gets the kill, right?
Right, but then again, you would still have the little issue of bots being everywhere. I don't think they want to share the XP.
No,
Then
well,
again, they're not gonna get the Slayer task anyway. But they're just gonna hog up spaces even more.
yeah, yeah.
I'm waiting for people to put cannons everywhere where bots can hang out. Just screw with every single one. That's what you should do, Shane. You and I should just get everybody to buy a cannon, just put them everywhere.
That'd be funny. All right, well, Social Slayer's coming out next week, as per this behind-the-scenes video, which they show a bit of how it works, and, of course, the fact the pet is the baby Aquanite. So I assume you guys aren't too thrilled about the pet, Marabska, because Trekkie's not.
Not really. Pets don't excite me.
Okay. What about the 10 years veteran cape? For people who've been playing
I don't know about
years.
that. 10 years of playing RuneScape?
I won't have mine yet. I think mine will be sometime next year. What about you, Trekkie? When will you get yours?
Baronska?
What's up? Trekkie? You go.
Say again, Shane.
Trekkie, I asked you when will you be getting your 10-year veteran cape?
I don't know. I quit for a while, so I don't know when I'll actually get it. But again, if it counts for every single year member, I should have it already.
No, it counts since you first created your account.
Oh, I don't know. I should have it. I should have it by now anyway.
You played since beta, didn't you?
I played since 2003.
Classic.
So, well, next year, I guess.
Okay. Yeah, I think mine will be sometime later next year or early 2014 or so. But what about you, Maremska? How long have you been playing?
On Moramska since 2008, but my first account, 04, so another 2014 as well.
So about the same as us then. That sounds good to me. Alrighty then. And of course, the Gielinor Games pre-release event. So first things first, they will be having a pre-release event which will only last a few weeks, which will be replaced with the actual games themselves. They want people to get involved with this so that you can earn as much as you can. There's going to be a large workshop set up in the center of Iraq, run by a friendly gnome called Umad Arrow. He'll be helping out and easy rewarding with some generous XP for each of the areas you assist with. So I'm guessing this is kind of the same thing that we've seen before, where you help set up an area and get some XP for it. And rightly so, because their UK company and the Olympics are in London.
And one of the events they revealed, cheese rolling, that's so British.
Curling.
Yeah, that looks fun, despite my inability to deal with cheese. I think cheese rolling might be a fun event to partake in real life. It'd be interesting to see how it happens in real life. And, of course, that will happen at the actual Gielinor Games. Other ones are the Beginner's Marathon and the Resource Race events, where members will have access to everything that the games offer. Well, the free players will only get those three mentioned.
Meh. I don't think the rewards will be that great. I think it's just going to be more outfits.
Yeah, it'll be like a holiday event because, there's not much that you can do. You can't force people to play this. They'll be on the same level as the Queen's event last month. So, with that, also the party for their 200 millionth account. So they have a celebration plan for everyone who is around when the moment it happens. It says he won't spoil the surprise, but we have all sorts of fun things planned for the big day, and the day's falling. You'll have heard the phrase party animal, but how about a party demon? Wonder what wonders lay in front of you. Suffice to say that there will be rewards. So there is going to be a reward for hitting 200 million accounts. They're currently at 198,985,026. And I know what you guys are thinking. How many of these are bots? Or were bots, rather?
85% of it?
I don't know. I don't think it's as high as 85%.
Probably. 85. Okay, fine. 65% are active bots. 10% of them are banned bots, and about 10% of the 10% are actual players, and the rest are accounts that no one plays anymore.
I don't know. It'd be interesting to see numbers, but Ramska, do you have any thoughts on this?
Not too much. No comment.
Okay. Well, with that also comes the combat beta events, which happen every weekend. So there's a whole set of them. So why don't we just have a little chat about that right now? Combat beta event for this week and is the Castle Wars.
Woohoo!
So essentially, all you need to do is complete a full
that?
game of Castle Wars. Was what?
Right? So you complete the game of Castle Wars, and then you get a mad scientist outfit.
Well, you get part of the mad scientist outfit.
I'm looking forward to it.
If you complete all 4 events, you'll get the entire piece or the entire set of the mad scientist gear.
I'm looking forward to it. I think it would be a good way for them to really test out PvP. My little pet peeve though is that it'll be kind of hard to target your guy again and again unless you're paying close attention to the asterisks.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true. Also, look at the.
I'm looking forward to people just grabbing like 3 or 4 friends and just basically destroying everybody in their path. One guy's a stunner, one guy's a dual wielder, one guy is I'm gonna keep you here, one guy is I'm gonna heal you guys as best I can.
Have you made any progress towards being a prick like you said you want to be?
I got a okay stun build. Like basically, I'm just stunning everybody as much as I can and using that effect to hurt people. But I still cannot find a way to be able to just like do mage and range and do something like that. It's just almost impossible because you need to have a main hand for to use the range one, but you also need the main hand. He has most of the magic spells, so that's not really helpful. I'm wondering how they did it in the video where they kind of hit someone with a whip and shot him with an arrow.
Yeah.
Ooh, birdie.
Yes, that is a birdie. Also, for anybody who's following along with the notes here, if you go to the combat beta events page and you see the concept art and you open it up, you see that the helmet has a little beta symbol on it. And I think this is going to be an outfit that people are going to want to keep for the foreseeable future because you're only going to be able to get this once. So.
But I'm running out of space in my bank.
Yeah, that is true.
And considering the fact that I probably won't get the other ceremonial items, I got 2 of them so far, and summer is nearly over. I'm not going to get them anytime soon.
Well, I think you have until the end of August.
Still. But, on Sunday, it's going to be every member gets to get into the beta. So
no, it's this entire weekend. It's already open. So if you're listening to this now, and it's Saturday or Sunday, you can get into the beta. It even opened up on Friday, so keep that in mind for next Friday as well.
Friday.
Which is nice.
Yes. So it was actually interesting because last week I had a couple friends. I was talking to 1 or 2 of my RS friends, and they were asking me how the beta was. One person was scared straight because she thought that she has to get 99 mage and 99 range to become at 200 because that's what people told her. I'm like, no, it takes into account your highest combat one. Whoever told you that had no idea what they're talking about. Boots.
Yeah. Well, while we're on this topic, have either of you guys discovered anything else in the combat beta since last week that you want to mention?
I haven't been on this whole week because I've been too busy.
I think last Monday, was it Monday, where they gave me a pair of offhand dragon claws for some reason.
How did you get that?
It just popped in my bank. They just had a message. They must have fixed some glitch or something, and they just there was an in-game message saying there's a pair of offhand claws in your bank.
So how is a pair of claws offhand if they use both your hands? I don't get that. I guess you're still able to hold the
not
weapon.
anymore. Not anymore. They made claws, one for each hand, so you can put on both claws and consider
I
yourself
see.
using dual wielding, or you put on one claw and a shield, and
Or
I
a
guess
claw and a bow.
I guess you'd
Crossbow.
be not Vegeta. What's that Street Fighter guy with the claw and the mask? I can't remember the guy's name.
I don't know.
Vegas.
There you go, Vegas. You'll be considered Vegas.
All right, then. Well, that's good to know we made some discoveries this week. Well, I think that's it for RS updates, unless you guys have anything else that you want to mention.
Not a Zip Zero. It's been a slow week.
Yeah, it has. And that's to be expected, because it is combat beta time, and last time there was a big beta like this, they slowed updates down to every other week, so we're still getting updates with this, but they are just a bit slower in frequency. Well, let's move on to questions then. You can take the first question, Trekkie.
Didn't we do this one last week? All right, dear. This question is from Duke. For Shane and Trekkie and Marmumska, I was visiting the various resource dungeons available to me to gain the free dungeoneering experience. I was sad to visit the Varaxor's resource dungeon that contains 6 magic trees, and not a soul was there besides me. My main question is, should Jagex add bank deposit boxes to all dungeoneering resource dungeons? Or seeing as many of these are out of the way and useless if you have to travel too far, so far from the bank. So that's the first part. Pack yak. Yeah. Pack yak.
Or imp in a box.
Even a spirit tailbird helps a lot.
Yeah, or that too. Or if you really want to send stuff to the bank, you can use the imp in the box, because nobody uses those. You know? When Hunter came out, they were all the rage, but no one uses them.
Because Yak is so much better.
No idea what they were when somebody went this week.
The thing is about the Varaxor one, sewer one. I went there and it is very out of the way. I think they could do better by adding a shortcut to get back down to the Moss Giants area. The only shortcut is there's a small shortcut, but it's still not that much of a shortcut.
Well, there's a shortcut by the Edgeville Slayer guy.
But it's still so far to get back up there.
I know, but the point is it's a resource dungeon, hence why it's out in the boonies.
But
just home tele to Edgeville and repeat process.
There you go, that works. Also, the resource dungeons. No, people overlook this, but ever since these came out, resource dungeons are available, maple trees are available to free players.
Right, which is why the price of them basically, with Misk, they basically plummeted down to 0.
Oh, they came back up recently.
There's not what it was before pre-resource dungeon.
Let's see, Maple, holy wow.
See?
They're 58 GPH.
Oh, 58. It's back to pre-bot days.
Cow. Wow.
What happened?
Look at the graph.
Yeah, just...
And now it kind of plateaued. Okay, so anyway, back to the question really quick. So Shane, you don't have a bank deposit in any resource dungeon?
I think Beasts of Burden and the Imp in a Box is more than enough.
Actually, I just thought of this. It's gonna be great during the combat beta because you remember how they said that you can left drag an item to the action bar and then just drop everything. I'm gonna go there. I'm gonna basically no live cutting magic trees for a while and then fletch them all and then drop them all at once. Or high outcome.
Why?
High outcome's not worth it. Why not? Because it's so much easier to drop them in combat beta than it is in RuneScape 2. Did you see the little video of them where they showed off how to use the action bar? Basically,
how does that work?
Basically, what's going to happen is, if for those who like to power mine or power fletch or whatever they like, what happens is that you can drag the item, whatever your let's say you're mining iron, you can drag that to the action bar, and after when your inventory is full, you can press 1 and all the iron in your inventory drops to the ground.
So that's assuming you put the iron in slot 1?
Yes.
Interesting.
So it drops everything, which I think is fantastic.
Really?
It's gonna be great for bots, but great for everyone else too.
Huh. I see.
So I'm looking forward to that. High alking, basically the same thing.
That really
high alk.
would also speed up barbarian fishing as well.
Fly fishing. I do use it when I do fly fishing in Shiloh. I just ran to the general store, sold all of it, and went back.
Yeah, but
made a
barbarian
little
is
bit of
pretty
money,
fast.
but not that much. Mm-hmm.
Interesting little observation there. Okay, second part.
Second part. All right, second part of Duke's question. Today I was chatting in bits and bytes about high alking doubling the amount of money in the game it causes huge inflations. It's ruining the economy more so than bots. Would you guys agree with this assessment? Would you oppose Jagex removing the high alk low alk spell from the game to decrease this inflation?
I think it still should be kept in game.
Yeah,
Personally,
I agree. But the best way to handle this is another money sink. Duke, you weren't around when Construction came out, but Construction worked really well as a money sink, and so did Summoning when that came out as well. So that we just really need another money sink at this point. One of the things that I have been advocating for since Squeal came out is to allow people to buy spins on the Squeal of Fortune, like 1 million GP per spin, say. And, I mean, there are people out there who would take this as the gambling and want to get the 200 mil slot. So there'd be people who'd spend 5-10 mil a day on this, and that money's just going straight out of the game. So, I mean, that would be a perfect way, in my view, to remedy this high alk issue.
Actually, it's funny that you mentioned Construction because the next part of this question kind of relates to it. On a related note to the RS economy, I was working on my construction when I thought about how my materials cost so much. I then found out after some research that things like bolts of cloth used to be cheaper and could be purchased in unlimited supply from the sawmill when initially released. Jagex later changed the supply at the shop to a limited number and made shops personal rather than shared. How do you feel about the personal shops? Do you think it worked out well?
I think it's fantastic.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
You don't have to fight for items with other people. Back in 04, now you can rock up to a rune shop and buy 1k air runes, and you won't affect other people. And at a set price, too.
Exactly. And there was a bit of flip-flopping on Jagex's part from this. There was a time ages ago, I don't know if you guys remember, but shops did have infinite stock. Do you guys remember that?
For a little bit, yeah.
It was after the Grand Exchange came out. Shops were given infinite stock for a bit, and it would just change on price. And, of course, that was later changed to be the shared shops like we had before that, because it wasn't working out well. But I think the way it is now is a perfectly good mix. So, so he's saying is that the things like cloth used to be cheaper and could be purchased in unlimited supply. I mean, I think that's just more representative of how the economy works too, rather than having infinite items and being cheaper. So I'm quite happy with the way it is now. How about you guys?
I'm neutral.
I'm happy. Also, helps. I don't know, if common thing is buying feathers. If you buy them at the shop, they're normally about 6 GP, 7 GP. But if you go to Grand Exchange, it's about 19. So if you're relatively new to the game and you don't know how to make money, one way to do is just buy them off NPCs and sell them off. Or you can use it for your skills.
Yeah,
which is a cheaper way of doing it.
There was a time period where that wouldn't work again in game, but I'm glad to see stuff like that coming back to the game because that's how it used to work back in the olden days.
I remember when before the Grand Exchange came out, we had this little 10-year-old boy complaining that the rune long at the Varrock sword shop costs way too much. It costs like 24,000. Doesn't make sense. I'm so angry, I can't afford it. And it's like, why don't you just buy from the store for like 5K cheaper then? I buy from other people for 5K cheaper. Duh. We're not gonna give you a food on the golden jewel encrusted platter. We'll earn your money like the rest of us.
Well, back then money was harder to make.
Yeah, but back then,
that is true.
But back then getting a meal was worth something. Now a meal is worth jack.
Nothing.
Exactly. Hence why make it like the de facto price for a squeal spin.
Actually, they should make it. You should start selling RS Gold from Jagex store.
No, I don't think they'll do that. I don't think they'll do that. I think if they wanted to do anything like that,
let's move on to the next question.
Like the cryptic point/dilithium thing in Star Trek Online.
Okay, next question. Question from Pierre. Yes. Hey guys, this is my first time contacting you, so I would like to start by saying thanks for the great podcast. My question for you is this. I want to get my dungeoneering level up, and I'm doing it solo. With the combat update coming out later in the year, am I best off hitting it hard before this happens? Or will the update not have a big impact on dungeoneering minigame / skill? I'd like to hear your opinions on this. Also, with your new focus interview once a month, is there any chance in the future of having a guest who specialises in dungeoneering, who could give advice on both soloing and teams? Many thanks for your time. Happy RuneScaping.
Trekkie, we tried this, didn't we?
Yes, I actually tried to get someone who was who I considered a truly expert in dungeoneering. However, he had issues and didn't want to do it, and the other backup people didn't want to do it. So dungeoneering just went, all right, bye bye. And so if you know someone who's super fabulous in dungeoneering and loves the skill very much, by all means, let me and Shane know. We'll try and contact them, but they have to be willing to do it. If they're not willing to do it, there's nothing I can do. I can't force them to do it. As much as I would love to, force to put a gun to their heads and say, "Do the show," or I'm gonna pull the trigger. I can't do it. Too far away.
And of course, there is you for this one, the dungeoneering one, just PM us, because this is one that we're actually out there looking for and want to do. So if you know someone who can do this, PM us. But for all other things, if you go to the update.rsbnb.com website, there's a link on the left that says suggest a foci topic. So if you're interested in something in RS and you have an idea of what would make a good topic, send it in there. But please, if you know someone who can do a dungeoneering focus with us, just send one of us a PM.
Mm-hmm. As for the combat update in regards to dungeoneering, I want everywhere in dungeoneering is already multi-combat, so I don't think it has a huge impact. One thing that most people are not so happy about when they're higher up is overload and prayer renewal potions doesn't work in there anymore. But most of the skills that's in the game right now in the beta, I think you'll probably clear a little bit faster because you're able to hit so much harder.
Yes.
And it's even better because if you're end up fighting one of those bosses and you need to tank, you can just swap out a whole bunch of tanking skills and, here, quick, give me food and a shield. Woohoo! I'm like, almost, my health is over 9,000. Yay!
Okay.
I would suggest hitting it hard, actually, because the common way of doing dungeoneering nowadays, it's basically go in, whack everything, and then just hit the boss. But with the new combat update, you can't, even with the abilities, you can't really, I just did a C1 the other day in beta. I think I met an Ice Warrior. I had Gorgonite two-hand and just smashing with prayer on. I still got flattened with a pancake in like 3 seconds. So, it might be changed a little bit, but also I think they want to force you in a multi combat style in dungeoneering.
Mm. You really do get more experience in a dungeon, going as a dungeon group, and it does. If you're going solo, if you want to go solo, it's your choice. But you know, you do get a bonus for going as a group. And my best suggestion is just try grab four other friends and say, let's do a dungeon run.
Oh, yes.
Like that's when you don't care. That's when you don't care about going at super clearing the floor in under 9 minutes.
Oh, Trekkie. I got a fifth for our little dungeoneering group.
Is it Tim?
No.
Okay, we'll worry about that some other time. But well, no, just try to find four other guys and just try to have fun with it. Try and basically learn from each other. Learn what your group does better and does best, and work around that.
Yeah, just like when we go in, I do all the skilling things, like and all the skills that nobody has 99 and like 99 fire making and stuff like that.
Mhm. And usually I'm the crafter in there, so I'm always doing the
crafter, fisher,
crafting
and
statue
cooker.
ones. Chef, head chef, not cooker. Head chef. Okay, big difference.
Okay. Why?
Okay.
What's a cooker versus a head chef?
Head chef gets paid more.
Oh, okay. Alrighty then.
All right.
But yes, I agree with everything you said. Definitely try and get a team if you can. Marabska, do you have anything to add on that?
Depending on your levels, if you say, if you, if the highest floor, last 3 floors you can go with a team. The XP is so much more.
Mm-hmm. But clear the lower ones first before you do it, then you get a little extra bonus.
Yeah, always tick every floor and then reset.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, that's the Cole's Notes Guide to Dungeoneering in 5 minutes.
Wish we could get a dungeoneering focus.
Which, of course, yeah, we would go in more depth if we did a dungeoneering focus, but that's the way the ball bounces. All right,
yes,
next one is from
sucked.
Ring. Dear host
your
of
favorite.
RSBANDB update. So, yeah, I can't remember if I have asked this question before, but I apologize if I had. Do you like the last Airbender or Legend of Korra TV show? If you haven't heard of it, I think you would, since this seems to be a sci-fi focused show in terms of what you like. Also, do you think Jagex will stop trying to ruin the game with in-app purchase just to profit a little bit off extra players? Thanks, with lots of love, with lots of loopy love, Dr. Ring, PhD in theological mockery and brotherly love.
People hating degree.
No, I've never even heard of those TV shows, let alone watch them.
Well, Shane, it's not a show you would like. It's from Nickelodeon.
I have heard Last Airbender, or it was called Avatar before James Cameron's one came out.
Yes. So that's why a lot of people got confused during that time period, because M. Night Shyamalan was making the movie of this cartoon, and then James Cameron was making a live action movie with basically the same name, and people were like, wait, which movie is what?
I think that this guy's Avatar should have been the one to succeed.
You're talking about the movie?
Yes.
Okay. But I didn't watch the M. Night Shyamalan interpretation, because they basically screwed up everything that made the cartoon good. They made it. First of all, they made everybody white, and it was just like, okay, you're in a Asian style place, and yet everybody here is white. Okay, and they changed the name of every main character. I was like, really? You gonna throw in the stupidest name in history just so you can change it? Shane, one of the main characters' name in M. Night Shyamalan's movie, his name was Ang.
Ang, really?
Ang. Cannot make that up. So he basically screwed it. But Benny really likes Legend of Korra, and I watch it with him when I get the chance. He likes it. I like it. The ending from the last one was really good.
Okay.
Yes, Shane, I know you hate cartoons, but I don't mind them.
Well, I take this one over Avatar.
And so his second part of the question, do you think Jacob should stop trying to ruin the game and in-app purchases, blah, 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 and Shane's going to say no, and here's his monologue about why this is good. So Maronska, you can just wake me up when he's done.
Okay.
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't think they're ruining the game. I think it's a perfect business model to have because first things first, everybody knows that ad revenue that you get off a free-to-play game is nothing, and it's not enough to support that side of the game. So you need another way from the members and the membership money to support the game. So, I mean, you need to have something in a free game that can make that free part of the game generate revenue. So, with that being said, the problem isn't the fact that this thing is here. It's not ruining the game. The issue is that it's a little bit of gambling for people who are underaged. But aside from that, it has very, very little impact on the game because, quite frankly, even with the 200 million GP prize that's on the wheel now, with that, there's more money that comes into that. I bet an entire hour into the game with the amount of high alking that's going on as per our previous question. And also, you don't even need to take part in the Squeal of Fortune if you don't want to. You just log in and you close it. I mean, it's as simple as that. So it's not ruining the game. If anything, would you rather have a game with Squeal of Fortune, or would you rather lose RuneScape free-to-play entirely? Or would you rather have membership prices go up to $10 a month? Take your pick.
Well, Shane would love to get rid of free-to-play.
No, I wouldn't. I think free-to-play is a good thing, because free-to-play is a good way to get people into the game as a bit of a demo, and then maybe they'll see what the game has and subscribe to the full version.
Yep.
I have no problem with free-to-play. Remember, I play Star Trek Online free-to-play, so I'm a fan of the free-to-play model.
Maronska, is he done yet?
You woke up. Yeah, he's about done.
Yeah. All right. Let's move on to the next question, shall we?
What? You guys don't have any extra thoughts on this about if they're trying to ruin
Shane,
Tricky wants to move on.
Shane, me and you have been knocking this since the very beginning. Let's just go.
Well, Marovska hasn't had a chance.
Yeah,
so let's hear what he thinks.
Give my 3 cents. Well, I think it's perfectly fine. You know, at least the money you're paying is going to Jagex, and it's not to some slave shop in China where they work, $3 for how long, but you're also fueling that sort of business. Also, at least the money, I mean, you pay for what you get. And whereas a lot of these gold sites, I heard they would, they'll take away your items somehow.
Yeah, or even just hijack your account.
By claiming, we'll need to use your account to do such and such, so we can give you this. But it's a safe way to keep players safe and keep people happy.
And who doesn't love a bit of gambling,
I suck at it.
Well, thank you for your thoughts, Marovska. I'm glad we're here, or we've settled this in a 2-to-1 kind of debate, that we are standing strongly in favor of Squeal here today.
Hopefully it's settled.
All right. Last question.
All right, this is from
question. Read that one.
Okay, Dougie.
Question from Hick142. A lot of people who listen to your podcast probably use Macs, and I think that this wide article and security risks in general would be a good thing to talk about.
So basically the link to this article is that there are starting to have security risk with Macs being attacked by hackers, and Shane will tell you all about it. Take it away, Shane.
Well, it is being targeted a little bit more, but there's two important things that need to be remembered here. First thing is that by design, OS X is more secure than Windows is, just from the fact that in order to get anything done on the account that's potentially compromising, a user needs to enter their password. So if a user was to enter their password, it's really their own fault for compromising themselves. So it in turn becomes a phishing scam, less of an OS security issue. So that's issue number one. Like anything you want to do that involves a system file, even if you're an admin account, you need to enter a password. That goes up a level if you make yourself a standard level user account. You need to enter your password for more things, and ultimately, that's a more secure way to run your system. So the main thing I think I'd tell OS X users in order to keep safe is same thing as Windows users. Don't open any strange attachments unless you're expecting them from someone you know. Keep your system up to date using the software update tool, and don't enter your password for anything that isn't something you're sure you want to install. Like if you go to a website, for example, and it downloads something and it wants you to open your password, just don't. Only enter your password for things that you're installing that you know are safe, like little applications from trusted websites or system updates. Now, another thing that is going to, I think, that is going to make things a little bit less security obtuse, maybe is the word I'm looking for, something, or make security less hard to handle, is when Mountain Lion comes out later this month, there's going to be a feature called Gatekeeper. And this feature will, of course, have three options. First one being you'll only be able to install software from the macOS App Store. Second one will be that you're only able to install software from certified developers. And the third option, which is the totally unrecommended option, is that you'll be able to install software from anyone, no matter who it is. So the default will be that you will be able to only install software from the Mac App Store and trusted developers. But if you want a little bit of extra security, you can, of course, ratchet that up to Mac App Store only. So that is another way that OS X will be getting more secure in the coming weeks.
Yay!
Rumska, do you have anything to add since you're a Mac user?
Also, a lot of these attacks, I like to say, some people just being not. I think they're mainly from Windows user sort of attitude, where I'll click on this link, install this software. Oh, there's smiley face in it. Bam, you're gone. So I think it just mainly just knowledge how to use the web and where am I going with this?
Not a clue.
That's essentially what I think I was also trying to say in one of my first pieces as well. It's just a general safe kind of computing attitude. I think that's where you're going from the sounds of it. Because
it's just basically
activities on Windows of being careful where you point that mouse apply to OS X. They also apply to Linux too. So
it's basically the same. I think just because more people using Macs, I think it's just less targeted. But there's still a lot of people who attempt to do these. I don't know what they get up to, but they get them in sticky situations.
Yeah. And another good thing that they did with Lion when that came out last year was that there's no Java installed by default, and Java is just another thing that you have to add onto your system to keep track, make sure it's staying updated and whatnot. So if you don't have Java, you're not vulnerable to Java exploits. So same thing for Flash. New Macs don't have Flash installed by default, so you don't need to worry about Flash exploits either. So I mean, it's just entirely up to you about how many of these extra add-in things that you need to install. So
keep it up to date. Don't install weird software, and you'll be fine.
Yeah,
Most of the
and
time.
the same kind of security thing can also be extended to Windows 7 as well. We're beyond the days of when you could just turn on a Windows computer and have it be hijacked instantly, primarily because pretty much everyone has a router these days, and the Windows firewall is enabled too. We're not back in the days of 2002 with the blaster worm.
Oh, yeah.
Just take
You could
over
type in
systems
an
left,
IP
right, and
and
center.
log in.
Yeah. So, I mean, overall, I'd say Windows and OS X are both very secure operating systems. OS X is probably a bit more secure from the Unix backend and the fact that it has less of a target on its back. But in general, as we both said, safe computing practices still apply.
Yep.
See, Trekkie, you should have got Benny a Mac.
No!
You got him an iPad.
I didn't get him an iPad.
Well, his parents
Mom
did.
did. So? They barely can even use that thing. All they play that is the Jules. That's all they do. I swear. The second I got that stupid Apple account thing to finally work, all they've been doing with the iPad is just Bejewels again, again, and again, and again, and again, and again, and again, and again.
All right, so let's move on to tech news.
Alrighty, so first up, Windows 8 upgrade will now cost only $39.99.
You know where they got that idea from? They got that idea from Apple, of course, because the Mountain Lion upgrade's only going to cost $19.99. So I guess Windows wanted to do the same kind of thing, where they would have they would just want to get everyone onto the new OS.
Which I think it's a reasonable cost instead of. Oh, then again, it's Windows, so you don't know which package it is. The 700 deluxe packages.
Yeah, but there's only 3 this time, which is good. There's only Windows 8, Windows Pro, and Windows 8 RT. There's only 3 this time. Pro is the highest one. RT is for ARM devices. So, of course, you will be able to upgrade to this from Windows XP, Vista, or 7. So that's good. They're still keeping the XP path open because they want to get people off XP. This is $10 cheaper than the 7 update was, because that was $50 back in the day. So I think we're doing pretty good here from Microsoft's point of view, and the fact that they realize that people don't like upgrading their OS unless they get it with a new computer, and this might actually entice people to upgrade, maybe. But I personally don't think a normal Windows 8 user is going to upgrade to, or Windows 7 user is going to upgrade to Windows 8.
Well, not right away.
Well, no, they're not going to upgrade because they see no point. They're not engaged, whereas the Mac users are engaged. And if you talk to any Mac user, they will be informed that Mountain Lion is coming out later this month.
Yes, but Apple fans...
I mean, if you went out on the street and you questioned people who are using Windows laptops and you said, do you know Windows 8 is in development, I bet you that only 10% would say yes.
Yes, but most people who use PCs don't really care for any of that stuff. I know people still running XP. I know one person that's still running a 2000. It's like, why do you still have this? It's like, oh, it works fine for me.
And there you go. That's just the problem with the Microsoft culture in general. It's just so hard to get excited about a new release of Windows.
Well, actually, that guy is cheap, like very cheap.
Oh, okay. All right.
There's no big incentive to upgrade. That's the thing with Windows.
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
but then again, anything that Apple shells out, Apple fanboys will gather everything up.
No, even normal users purchase the OS upgrades there.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's right on our App Store.
Mm-hmm.
Seriously.
Shane, when are you going to admit that you are an Apple fanboy?
I'm not. Ramska, do you
yes,
think
you
I
are. Yes.
Hello? I just cut out.
Maramska,
What did you say,
think I
sir?
am? Do you think I'm an Apple fanboy according to Trekkie's definition?
No.
Say yes or you're kicked.
No, I don't think you're a fanboy as such. You know, it's not.
Thank you.
Apple's like not God.
Exactly. There are people who
you point out flaws.
Exactly. Like I just did in our security question. So.
No.
Oh, and going back to the security thing, if you want to be extra secure, you should dump Safari and use Chrome instead. There you go.
Tricky.
Anyway, so Windows 8 will only be $39.99, shipped sometime this fall, I assume. So, you heard it here. You should definitely upgrade to Windows 8 if you're on XP or 7 or Vista.
Nah.
Yes.
No, I'll wait.
I am the only person I know that is excited about Windows 8. All the other Windows users I talk to are not excited about Windows 8.
Because if we're following the whole skip every OS, in theory, this should be very bad. And
just like the odd even Star Trek movie rule, right?
Yeah. But I'm just waiting for a couple months until they we found like 10,000 huge bugs, so we'll fix those up right away. And then
that doesn't happen anymore because they changed the way they build Windows. Previously, with Vista, you would get that kind of thing because they'd start fresh. Whereas with Windows 8, they're just forking Windows 7.
Mm-hmm. Oh, let's see what happens.
Moving on to another piece of security news. DNS changer malware. So, I think many years ago, we probably talked about this worm. I don't know what year it was from, but 2007. So we probably talked about this in 2007 at some point, but there was this worm floating around back then called DNS Changer, and what it would do was it would get on your system, and then it would modify your DNS records to point you to hijacked DNS servers in order to phish you and get all kinds of information from you. So it is this coming Monday that they're actually going to be shutting down these hijacked DNS servers. So if you have the DNS changer malware, you will lose internet access on Monday.
Okay, then. Good way to know, isn't it?
Yeah. But the thing is, if you go to Facebook or Google, you will get an alert on the top of your page that says you appear to be infected with this bad DNS malware. So you should be able to tell pretty easily. Another place you can go to is a website called dns-ok.us, and it will say that your computer appears to be looking up IP addresses correctly. So you could just head on over there and it'll tell you if you're okay. And then based on that, you can determine if you need to do any other kind of preventative measures. But if you lose internet Monday, this could be why.
Mm-hmm. But I think most of us here have pretty secure computers anyway, so I think most of us have to worry too much about it. General population, on the other hand, may. I'm going to expect a lot of phone calls to the ISPs.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how that all goes and everything. But all right, so big week this week in particle physics.
Shane's favorite topic.
Yes, the Higgs boson has, they say Higgs boson-like because they're not 100% sure, but they're 99% sure. I think it's something like 1 in 4.5 million that this could be a fluke. So, thoughts?
Shane, I'll go first because you know how I'm buying this one already.
Okay, well, I'm going to ask Maramska because you're breaking up really badly. So, Maramska, what do you think about this?
It's a great discovery. Something to look forward to.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Ooh.
Oop.
Wow.
Drop something.
Go ahead.
Basically, the God particle, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what they've been calling it. And the reason being that the Higgs boson is such a big deal is all the other particles in the universe are accounted for, and that's how everything is made up. But the fact is that these particles don't account for one thing that requires matter to exist, and that's mass. So that's exactly what the Higgs boson is thought to be the result of. It creates mass, and without mass, we would not exist. Energy would not exist as well if it wasn't for mass. So you can see this is a huge, huge discovery, and in a way, it's kind of like just okay. It's exciting, but it could have been a whole lot more interesting if they would have found something weirder, because that would have meant that the whole way we see physics is not correct. But that means we're on the right track.
Mm-hmm.
It's also worth noting that Professor Stephen Hawking lost $100 because he did not think this particle would exist.
Oh.
Well, for $100 is nothing compared to what they've just unlocked, in theory.
Yep. Also, with this, it weighed in at approximately 125 gigaelectron volts, which is about 133 times heavier than a proton.
Ah, here it is. Found it.
And we also have this good BBC article. It tells exactly what the standard model of physics is and how quarks, leptons, and bosons all work together. So definitely a good read if you're at all interested in physics at all. And Peter Higgs, who theorized about this, was actually at this and was, to be around for something like this discovery must be just amazing. And he didn't actually think it was going to happen in his lifetime.
Which is saying something. We
exactly
were able to build a Large Hadron Collider, which crossed two countries, and do crazy experiments within within 60 years.
I think we're all going to remember where we were when this news first came out. It's on the same level of, remembering news of when 9/11 happened, or when our conservatives here won their first majority government. It's just such massive news that everybody will remember where they were when they heard about this, I think, at least.
Most people don't even know what this is.
Well, I mean, that's the sad part, is that more people should know about this, because it's such an amazing discovery, and without it, we would just not exist.
Yes, but most people know more about the Kardashians than they do about math and science.
Who's that?
Which is unfortunate. Very good, Maremska.
Some crazy
he doesn't
girl
need to
who
know.
decided to get married for 48 hours for money.
Sounds like Hollywood.
She is part of Hollywood. Aren't they always? But let me see if I can find that stupid thing.
No, we don't need to hear about that. But anyways, have a read through this article. It's a great read.
But also, one other little thing, Shane, as I told you about this last night, one of our friends from our STO channels has a friend of a friend of a friend who works at CERN, who was working with this. And I am trying, and basically the person had a little audio presentation to a bunch of students, and I'm waiting for him to come back, and he's going to give me the audio for that little presentation. So hopefully I can get it for you by Saturday. Depends on if he's on tonight or not. So basically, she's a particle physicist who was working with this during the time when she discovered it. She said it was one of the most amazing things she's ever done in her life.
Well, yeah, like I said, it's huge.
But
also, it should be noted that people here in Edmonton did have a part in analyzing the data. They analyzed a portion of the data, I think about 10% of it, so we did have a role in this as well.
But I don't think they really should have. Well, Shane, what do you think will come out from this? we discovered
I
this.
think it just opens up it just means that we're on the right track, and we can continue using the LHC, ramping up the energy, and seeing what else can be discovered there. Because this means that you're on the right way of thinking of theories and everything. So the way this is going to go, I think, is that now that we know how this works, maybe the next step will be finding out how gravity relates to this. Because we understand how the weak and strong nuclear forces act. The strong nuclear force being the thing that holds atoms together and whatnot. The weak nuclear force being radiation from just stuff escaping, like uranium decay, for example. And we all understand how electromagnetism works as well. The thing is that we don't understand is where the heck does gravity come from? So that's the next thing, and maybe this might shed some light on this, because, gravity, mass, kind of related. I know one of the crazier theories that said, would that be, we might just be feeling the after effects of gravity, whereas gravity is an actual real force in a parallel universe. So we might, what we perceive as gravity might be something else in a different universe. But it's just a theory. So I think that's where we go from here. All right. Anything else on this great piece of news?
Well, what's going to be? Well, I wonder what the church will say about this. Because in a way, if this just become fact and all this, I think most of them will probably worry, hey, we just proved God exists. Well, then if people start saying that, then where's the faith come in all this? That's what one of the things Dan Brown said in one of his books, Angels and Demons. I read that a couple years ago. And one of the main points is that, most of us don't want the God particle to be found, because then if we went and proved that God does exist and he did help create the universe, well, what does that say about faith?
But the thing is, there's physics behind it. So if there's physics and science behind faith, that's perfectly okay with me.
Yeah, but, Shane, also remember the church and science have never really seen eye to eye ever since Galileo looked through a telescope.
Okay, well, that's it for tech news. So, moving on to other things. First up being the Skill of the Month update for July. It is the smithing skill of the month. Ramsk, are you competing this month?
No. Didn't we just have smithing early in the year?
Mm-hmm.
We did?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, we did back in December. You're right. Okay.
Oh, so last year.
Close enough.
Well, it's close enough.
Woo-wee!
So, currently, J-Bob Man is currently in first with 3.2 million experience gained. Second is Pyronasius with 1.7. Third is X-Blades with roughly 868,000 experience. And fourth is Brian with 391,000. And fifth is Duke Juker with 69k XP. So definitely still room to be made in the top 5 at least. So get going, people. Month is only a week done. But
and 12 people with 0 XP gained.
Oh, that's normal.
That's kind of normal.
Always,
so hopefully,
actually, it's always the same people again and again, isn't it?
Yeah, I think people just sign up and enter just for the fact if they decide to do some later in the month, which is perfectly fine. But anyways,
it's only 5 days.
Yeah, so I hope people will continue and maybe actually we'll see a lead change. Hope so. I always like it when that happens.
Yes. That does not happen very often, though.
Yeah, not often. But moving on from that, the RSBANDB Informer Roundup of June is out. So if you haven't been reading for the entire month, you can head back over and read our articles that we published for June. All kinds of interesting things, including, my topic on the user interface article, why Slayer is good for you, reasons why you should maybe buy spins on the Squeal of Fortune, and what makes RuneScape addictive. So, and of course our usual gaming articles as well. So you can of course head on over and read that at informer.rsbnb.com.
Sounds like fun. Interesting articles this week.
Yeah, I know. I'm quite happy with what they wrote this month. So give them a read.
Okay.
Achievements of the week.
Ooh, we have a lot this week.
Not as many as last week, but still a decent amount.
Alrighty. First up, we have
Skite with 99 construction on the 5th.
Second is Bonsai 99, who got 99 woodcutting.
Third is IZ with 99 magic, July 4th.
And then we also have Touchpad Pro, 99 crafting on the 2nd.
And Fire Mana at 99 attack, July 1st.
Congratulations, everyone. Good 99s this week. Especially the 99 construction and crafting there. Those are ones you don't see too often in this list. But good 99s nonetheless.
Alrighty then.
Alright, Maramska. I believe you have a pick for us?
Oh, yes. It's a game called DayZ. Basically, if you go to the Steam store and you notice an old game called Arma 2 that's been in the top seller, it's because of this. It's basically Left 4 Dead combined with, I don't know, what's the popular FPSs?
Call of Duty.
Something like that. Basically, you arrive on an island and then you have nothing on you, backpack, and then you just go around finding resources, surviving zombie attacks and other players. So the average surviving time is about 39 minutes.
That's not very long.
No. So the best side it was about an hour. So the motto is trust no one. I've ran into somebody and they fragged me down. So it's a fun game, nonetheless. It's still in alpha, so it's not even beta yet. So there's still a lot of improvement to do, but it's good fun.
Okay. And that can be found at DayZmod.com.
Yep.
So it's a mod for Arma 2, so I assume you need Arma 2 previously, right?
Yeah, you need... there's a package with Arma 2 is the expansion called Operation Arrowhead, I think. They sell for $29.99. And then there's a program called 6 Uploader, I think, that will download the mod and hook you up with the servers.
All right, that sounds good.
Whee!
Now, the Olympics are starting at the end of the month, so we do have a note here, courtesy of Schwa, that he would like you to take part in RSBANDB's very own Olympic Games. So for the first 2 weeks at the end of July through the beginning of August, teams around the communities will take part in over 30 events. So these will be RuneScape events, PC gaming events, Xbox events, and even one that will test your offline abilities. So Schwa has a huge amount of events planned for you guys. And you can find team signups and more information in the topic at update.rsbnb.com. It'll be in the link for this week's show notes. So you could sign up with your own team. I think he's going to have a few solo events as well. Teams will participate in at least one event and no more than 7 solo events. So that there is a point of a team, and you can also do a few events solo. So I mean, we're not entirely forcing you to work with a team, but nonetheless, it'll be great fun this series of events. So we do highly encourage you to check them out. And sign up for a team.
Yes, always sign up. Have some fun.
Yep.
Yeah. Friendly
right,
competition.
So what have we been doing? Maramska, do you want to go first?
Sure. Well, my car got rear-ended. I had to take it to Smash repairs, and then upgraded my PC.
I hope you weren't injured at all or anything.
Oh, no, I was fine, luckily. And then yesterday, I bought some graphic cards, thanks to Paul, Bonso99, Ranger God's recommendation. I bought a Radeon. Yeah, so my PC's fantastic. Playing RuneScape in high detail, 50 frames per second. Whee! That's about it.
All right. Anything on RuneScape?
Oh, RuneScape wise, not too much. I took a break for once. Just I found it a bit grindy, so I took a break this week.
Yeah, I can understand that. So,
yes,
that's good. All right, Trekkie, you now.
Didn't really do much this week. I just did a little bit of slaying, did a little bit of wood cutting, and did my Citadel stuff. Didn't do too much.
Oh, good. Okay. Anything else?
No, nothing. Nada.
Okay. This week for me, I've been primarily doing a bit of TF2. On RuneScape, I visited a clan Citadel just to see what a fully spec'd out Citadel looks like, and they're nice. So it's kind of unfortunate that we didn't have people to do ours like that. But one of the fun areas in a clan Citadel is actually the theater. It's fun watching people play with sounds and everything. So, aside from that, I did some farming for you, Trekkie.
Yay! I'm happy with my torch tool.
And aside from that, not much at all. Which actually leads into what I'm going to shock everyone with.
You're quitting.
I'm taking a break until No, I'm not quitting. I'm taking a break until the end of July. I will be back either the first week of August or the last week of July for one of these shows. Primarily because not next week, but the week after, I'm going away for a few days. And next week, I just figured I'd take this break because in the entire 8 years that, the full 7 years and a month or two that I've been doing this show, I've only missed 2 episodes, and I just figured it was time for a little bit of a break. And I'm hoping to come back with a renewed sense on everything and maybe turn out some interesting ideas for RSBANDB update and stuff. But you will be left in capable hands with Trekkie and whoever he decides to bring on the show with him. I will be providing him with a to-do list of things that he needs to do in order to make sure that the show runs smoothly. And I already told him there's going to be 1 or 2 of the items on this list he's not going to agree with, but he has to do them anyways.
What, turn conservative?
No,
well,
that might be on there, but something.
So it's going to become the Trekkie show?
Well, and whoever he decides to bring on with. So,
yes.
Me and him are going to discuss possibilities, and it's going to be up to him what he does for guests and whatnot. So if anything goes wrong in the next 2 weeks, blame him, not me.
Woohoo! Yes.
So,
the Asian got a show. I'm done.
Oh dear. Well, with that being said, do either of you guys have anything else before we close this one up?
Ooh.
Not really.
All right.
It's gonna be an interesting couple of weeks without Shane
It will be.
bugging me.
But in any case, with that being said, I'll see you guys in a couple of weeks, and enjoy the show's one time.
Ta-ta!
Thanks for listening to this portion of RSBNB Update. You can find the full episode and more at update.rsbnb.com. Also remember to stop by our community and join our forums at rsbnb.com/forums. We look forward to seeing you there. Thanks for listening to this portion of RSBNB Update. You can find the full episode and more at update.rsbnb.com. Also remember to stop by our community and join our forums at rsbnb.com/forums. We look forward to seeing you there.